Well, hello there, Stitching Joanne here with a Flosstube update. It's been 7 weeks since my last video. I have whips, haul and some non-cross stitch stuff, but I think you will still like it. So the first thing I'm going to start with is Lizzie Kate. You probably won't remember, but in my last video this was a finish. But when I went to put this away, because it's summer, I didn't like the blue. So the house was blue and these flowers were blue. So I ripped it all out and changed it to yellow, and I think it looks more springy. I'm not mad keen on the blue door, but if I took that out as well, then I would have had to redo that as well. And I didn't want to. So that's Lizzie Kate Flip It Spring 4 Seasons with the number 4 on, I think, cloud green 28 count even weave from Fabric Flair. Where am I going to put these? So most of what I've been working on has been following Whip Go. This is my Whip Go board. As you can see, I've completed all my goals, which is 5 days each time it's been called, so I've finished them in that month, which was the point. And as you can see, these are the 2 that have been called this month, Ballerina Beauty and December. I've only got 3 on here anyway, just repeated. So working on those, but obviously what I'm going to show you is what was called. So the first thing I think that was called was Mirabilia Spring Topiary Garden. And this is where I'm at. So I worked on this side. I don't know how to point. I did basically all of this is new. So these trees, these squares, the fountain, the bits I could do, because it's mostly metallic, which I'm obviously leaving till later. This flower and these leaves and this wall. Did all of that, and then I also did this big hedge across the back. That was meant to be in a water lilies, but I'm not buying the water lilies, so it's in like an olive green. The topiary things in front of it have disappeared into it, so I think what I'm going to do is outline them in like one of these lighter green colours, so you can see it, and then it'll be like just like the sun shining on it, right? So that's Spring Topiary Garden. The next thing I worked on was Ballerina Beauty by Dimensions Gold Collection. Glary Glary. You should look this up on Facebook at people's pictures who've finished it. It's so good. Here's where I am now. Here's where I am now. So last time I'd done all this top part. I was going to use a hanger to do this and didn't, and probably should have. This top part was all done, and it was halfway done down this side. So to here. So all of that is new. So that was just more of the blue, and then some of the other blue purpley bits, and this corner I finished because I was trying to finish the background. And then actually this is new as well. So I was trying to do the background, so this blue stuff's new, this bit's new. So that goes quite quick because it's half stitch at the moment. Yeah, I think I want to do all the background before I do the ballerina. That's been called for Whip Go this month, so I'll be doing that. The next thing is December by Anna Dittman by Haid. This is where I got to. So last time I showed you I'd got this page, and this page done. I'd started this kind of corner of this page, so I've done all of this and all of this. Can't really see the colours very well, but this is like a very vibrant pink, which was fun. I'm doing it 2/1 10th stitch on 25 count. I did this my normal cross-country way, like all this, but then this part I've started doing cross-country by row. I'm not sure if it's going to leave lines though, so what I might do is cut the grid and pull it out to like here to see if it's left, if there's lines, tension lines. So that's that. I should have looked what percent I was at because I'm using Pattern Keeper, but it's going to be this big. I think before I started this page I was at over 15%. And that's what I'm working on currently because it's been called for Whip Go. I've done 2 days, so I've got 3 more days left on that. And then I've done a bit more work on Oriental Lady Wisdom, which is this one. I started this for the Stitch Asia Sal, hashtag Stitch Asia. And did I say it was called Oriental Lady Wisdom? It's from this book, Oriental Odyssey by Joan Elliott for Design Works. Here it is. I'm doing it 1/1 full cross on 25 count. Last time I showed you I'd only kind of got to there, and I think I'd done this bottom leaf. So since then I've done this leaf, all this blue fill-in and this black border and this bit. Because again I'm trying to do this circle first, background first, and then I've done that blue bit there, but it's quite a bit of a jump to get to this edge, so I ran out of thread there. I did that on my lunch break, 30-minute lunch break. Yeah, so might get back to that after I've done Whip Go, but I need to stitch my Lizzie Kate summer because summer will be ending in like 4 weeks, which is crap. I suppose I'll just show you things I've actually made. And before I carry on, I started the stitch wheel by Threads Workshop. So this is an embroidery project. I'd already done this grey outline, which is split back stitch, and then I did these stitches on Sunday. I can't remember what they're called, but that's French knots, bullion stitch, no idea, pistol stitch, drizzle stitch, they're like sticky up things. That's a bullion knot rose, that's colonial knot, don't know what that's called, but I like it. Don't know what that's called. One of them's called, I think, coral stitch, and that's fly stitch, these leaves. But I think I used too many strands, so it looks a bit chunky. So yeah, this is a free thingy. It's like a series of YouTube videos, which I might link below. I think it's 52. When it started, a friend wanted us to do it, and we thought it was going to be one stitch a week, but then she released like a load at a time, so we never kept up with it. I don't think she's even started it, so I thought I'd better start it, seeing as I'd already done the circle. But anyway, enough about that. And the other thing is my quilt top. Last time I showed you this, it was just blocks. It was square, half square triangles maybe, I don't know. Well, I finished the top. It's not huge. I was just using up the blocks I had left from my old quilt, and then these ones in the middle are new. That's like a seersucker fabric. And then I've put this border around the edge with a mitered corner. So there's that. But I'm not a fan of the quilting process, the next part, so I don't know when that will get done. Oh, there it is. Okay. So, oh, yeah. I seem to have lost, oh, found them. Now I've lost one. Found it. In my last video I showed a book called The Magic of Christmas, Plastic Canvas or something like that, from Leisure Arts, and I made all the ones from it that I wanted to. So now I'm going to show you. They're all Christmas. So here's my reindeer. So obviously you stitch it in different parts and then stitch them together like you stitch its little tail on. The back is like one long piece that was bent over. It's not cross stitch, it's like these angly stitches. If I'd have thought, because I would have done a red nose and a different coloured thing, but I'd already done it then when I realised. So it's not Rudolph, I'm afraid. We're giving someone else the fame. this might be Dasher or something. So there's my reindeer. Oh, and if anyone's making this, I didn't make the base because why? And then I made a little bird house. This was tricky because look, it's even got its own wing. Well, I think that beak was the hardest bit because it's literally the plastic canvas. It's 14 count perforated plastic by Darice. The beak was only like 3 holes of plastic, and then you have to like cut around the edge. And so when I was sewing it, it was just like this string with this little piece of plastic flying off the end, and I was like, woo! Yeah. It's got a little heart that's stuck on. Yeah, I didn't sew these on, I glued them on because too many. Yeah, it's got its own little wing, got a little French knot eyes. So that's my little bird house. That's how small it is. Bird house. And then I made a cardinal. I assume that's what it is. It's drunk. Here's the little cardinal. And its wings gone funny. It's got like a little star shape for its feet. And then it's got a little wing. It's got a wing on both sides. It's got a beak. And it's got French knot eyes. So this is more like half cross stitches. I don't know why you can't see it because my camera's rubbish. And then so you do that, and then you have to like whippy over stitchy around the edges. It's quite fiddly and it's quite bad on the old wrist because you have to like yank it through. I used, I think, 3 or 4 strands of DMC to do these. And then the little ornament ones I made Mrs. Christmas Mouse. So she's got loads of different colours. It's quite hard to count because these are all charted on an angle so that you can get angles. She's got a little French knot holly thing there. She's got French knot eyes. These green things are French knots as well. There's the mouse. Here's the dove. Used metallic on that. It's meant to be carrying a heart, but I don't think you can tell that's what it is. These are French knot little berries in its eye, obviously. Gold metallic thingy. I like how its wings, the stitch used on the wings, like the long stitch. Here's Santa. He's got metallic French knots. Now they were a bit of a nightmare. Here's my snowman with golden nipples. I used beads because I didn't want to use the metallic to do French knots, but after I'd put the beads on this, I thought for Santa I'd just do French knot. There's the snowman. Do you think it looks a bit like Cartman off South Park? And finally, an angel. She's got lots of metallic and humongous eyes. So that's all my cute little Christmassy plastic canvas. So if you want to give plastic canvas a go, you should. It's fun. But if you get like this, you're meant to use 7 count plastic mesh, obviously do that. If you do that, you'd have to use wool to stitch it with, whereas obviously I already got threads. In fact, the threads I used for all these were ones you get that I had off magazines and stuff that I probably wouldn't use for actual stitching. Okay, I wanted to show you this cutting mat that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. Vintage Strawberry mini cutting mat by Fig Tree & Co. for It's So Emma, and it's pink on one side and green on the other side. And it's just in inches, but it's good because it's little and you can cut little things. And I actually used this to cut out a load of bobbins just from cardboard for my non-branded threads that I got. The price of this is I don't really know. I think it's $10.98. And then another thing from Fat Quarter Shop was, well, it's a quilt pattern, but it's got a cross stitch in the back, which is what I liked. I think I like that one, that colour, those colours, all this like pink and orange. So, and this costs $24.95 from Fat Quarter Shop. Well, from itsoemma.com. Yeah, I'm a bit confused. I don't know what's the same and what isn't. So that's just a couple of things from Fat Quarter Shop. This I wanted to show you. This is something that I should have mentioned earlier. This is, I can't remember if I told you that I'd done this, the Stitch by the Sea UK tour. It started in June last year, and some people had like there's 220 something like seaside towns of the UK, and then they were put in alphabetical order, and then you had to stitch the number of miles that was between each one to like move on to the next one. I think the group is still there if you wanted to join it and do this. But I finished it. So I started in June, finished on the 30th of April, and so it took me 334 days. You obviously have to count your stitches, which is really annoying, I've come to find. But the best way I found to do it was to do my stitching and then count as I highlighted and write it down. Because if you highlight first and then try and count them, that's difficult. And if you try and count as you stitching them, then the stitching isn't fun. So anyway, so it's a total of 53,848 stitches, 334 days, which meant on average I stitched in the last year 107 stitches a day, which is a bit rubbish. But I think I worked out that I only actually stitch about half the days of the month. Because of work mainly, and my eyes being fried by the computer. yeah, so Stitch by the Sea UK tour if you want to do that. I started off colouring them in and then switched to just crossing them off, because it was taking me ages to get the coloured pencils out. That's that if you wanted to do that. Now for haul. Okay, so a few things I bought. I bought Spirit of Christmas by Lavender and Lace. Brian at Blitz Stitch has done this. Stitch this. I was surprised to get it new sealed because I thought it looked like an alright price, because I think when I've tried to buy this before, probably nearer when he'd done it, it was expensive. But I got the good one. So there's that. One thing from my birthday haul that I forgot to show you was Silver Creek Samplers My Christmas List. Love this. You can't see it very well. I think it might just be me. It's got all these, obviously, Christmas things. Actually, it's stitched in. It's all DMC, so that's good. This I loved. I think this might be a new design. The Drawn Thread, Emily's Hope. Can't see it very well, but it's like the letters are like a greenish colour. It's all done in Dinky Dyes, but I'm not going to do that because I think they're like £3 or £4 each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 times £3 something. I know. £40–50. And I bought the Barbara Anna Dreaming Girl Sal thingy. Can't get my sides right. This was from Creative Poppy, where like when you buy them it's like digital. So I printed it, and the fabric I got was Bermuda even weave 28 count by Fabric Flair, and it doesn't show because my cameras never pick up green. It's like a tealy turquoisey colour, so I'm hoping that's going to be okay. Here's some of the threads I didn't have. So I bought those. Cinnamon Stars. I can't work out which is the best way. That way. I've had this for years. I don't know why that's in. Oh. This is the fabric I had for it before. This is Sunflowers by Crafty Kitten. Love Crafty Kitten. I think it's a linen, 28 count linen, and I bought some of the threads for it. Weeks Dye Works Sage, Weeks Dye Works Molasses, Gentle Art Sarsaparilla, Gentle Art Piney Woods, and Gentle Art Gold Leaf. So I'm slowly getting nearer to actually doing it. And then I've did a couple of little orders with artsanddesigns.com. I don't think many people have heard of it, but they're actually, the patterns and stuff seems to be a bit cheaper than everywhere else. But the reason I want to show you the card that comes with it is because it's got this thread fabric count thing on it, which I think might come in useful. But what I got from there was just Flosstube bags, because I need some more, and these 2 beads for Spring Topiary Garden, because these are size 6 and size 8, and I couldn't get them on Lakeside Needlecraft, and these are meant to be like £4.50 each, but on Arts and Designs they were like £2 something. So that's that. And then from Lakeside it's this is Lakeside Needlecraft. I get all my DMC from there because it's like 60 something p. And these are the threads I've picked to substitute for Spring Topiary Garden. But I'll tell you more about that when I've actually stitched with them. This just DMC is going to be for around the trees. And then I've bought 2, I'm a bit confused. This is one of the original variegated, it's 92. And then these are, I don't know, is it colour variations? 4045 and 4045, which is not massively variegated but a bit, and 4066, which has more yellowy lime green type colours. So there I'm going to sub in, and then the rest of the beads for it. So there's these heathered type ones, 2 of those, silver lined clear petite, 2 of those, and these bluish ones that goes in their dress. So that's those. And then I also got Light Effects E3821, which is like the middle gold one that Light Effects do, and that's because I want to do these 2 primary schooler ones. Got Blackwork Angels and Starry Night. I want to do those because I've had them ages, and obviously this one's just black and gold. It's black gold, and then there's 3 different blues. So that's all of those things. That was a long update. So yeah, I've been watching Flosstube, and I've caught up with, well, I'd never watched Jenny, the Long Dog Stitcher, and so I watched all her videos, and it was like amazing. She's so cool. And then I started watching Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour, Ellen Reid, and Richard thought it was dead cool that she's in Crash Test Dummies. So yeah, so that was fun. So doing that, obviously it's the end of the month, beginning of the month now, so everyone's putting their updates out. So I'm having to watch those first before I go back to Ellen. Okay, so I've got to go because I'm supposed to be at someone's house in 10 minutes. So thanks for watching, thanks for making your videos, thanks for sharing your pictures on Instagram, and I'll see you in my next video.